What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to this constant narrative that LeBron James ruined the All-Star game and he didn't step up to the challenge when Kobe Bryant when Kobe, challenged him in the All-Star game, right? And so I thought that LeBron James could have stood up when Kobe challenged him, but I don't think that is what ruined the All Star game, right? I think that that's part of it, but you can't blame all of that on LeBron James because if you think about it, if the All Star game and All Star weekend was really all that important to NBA and the owners and the powers that be, no way in the world would they allow one player to ruin it. And you got a bunch of billionaires sitting back just letting LeBron James dictate like what goes on in the All-Star game. But so that's what you have to think about, So all right, ratings are down, and attendance is down as far as the NBA is concerned, right? But that's like that don't account for like the other markets that they make. Like the NBA, the NBA is a worldwide league now, so they're making money all over the world. And so what we're just looking at it from like, like if somebody don't go to a Washington Wizards game, if they're not sold out, then we were like, oh man, they're making so much money, man, off of the NBA. Like I said, because the game is international, we only see a portion of it. They're making money online. They streaming it in other countries and stuff like that. So All-Star weekend, the dunk contest and all that stuff is really, I don't think it's important to them, because if it was important, like I said, then no way in the world they're going to allow LeBron James to dictate billions of dollars and stuff like that. So, but let me play what Dwayne Wade said, and not that it's true, but I think like there's a bigger picture.
Here's my take on all, just my personal take, and I've already shared why I think the game has kind of went a little watered down, because it's not just about the game anymore. If you know the schedule of All-Star guys now versus then, it's about the business.
It's the business.
It's not about the game no more. You, as much as you have to do before you actually go perform, is different from back in the day. But the thing I will say is this: as someone who came in my first All-Star game being 04-05 season, the stars of the game was the one who determined how the game went. Kobe Bryant brought it every All-Star.
Every All-Star.
So me as a young guy having to guard Kobe, he at my ass. I got to lock up. It was different because of the stars in the league. So I'm not saying that LeBron at 40 should be the one, but what I'm saying is when we came in, the stars determined how the game was going to go by what they brought to the game. I'm just following suit because I'm a young fella happy to be here, but I don't want to get embarrassed by Kobe Bryant. So now let me
you got to play.
Why you got to bring up?
Asking questions. Because he broke Kobe's nose in the All-Star game.
But he was competing at a high level.
Why you break his nose? So I always wanted to ask you that.
You wasn't going to ask me that. Well, I was on your show. Why you didn't ask me on your show?
I forgot. I forgot you broke Kobe nose, man.
I did.
You using all your fouls, too.
Ain't going home with none of them.
That's the competitive nature. He don't leave no fouls on the table.
So when I came in, Kobe set the tone for the All-Star games.
Right.
Kobe would go out there and be ready to bust your ass.
Right.
So when I was that All-Star game in particular, the one we talking about, Kobe was on the other end. He was hitting me. He was doing that little right here. And I'm like, Kobe, come on, he don't care. Kobe's he locked in. He's a competitor. So I lose myself a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's what we doing.
This is where we at.
This is where we at. So on the opposite end, I'm like, get the ball because I'm up. Right. That's all I'm thinking. I'm about to foul you because now you me up or down there and the ref ain't calling it. We're in the All-Star game. No one sees this but me and you. And I told you 3 times, Kobe, stop doing that. So it's like,
here come that Chicago. Stop doing it.
I was like, so I'm a person who I'm gonna handle it. Now, mind you, didn't try to bust nobody's nose down. You know what I mean? But I did try to foul the to let him know you're not gonna play. So I let him go. He went into this thing. I and then I saw him grab his nose, and I started bleeding. I was like,
bro. He gave you the look like this, like.
No, he ain't say nothing. No, he scared me because he ain't say nothing to me.
Yeah, he's scary.
I was like, Kobe, you all right?
He like a broke nose. Thank you.
No, I told you. I said that. So when I called him at the All-Star, I was like, hey, bro, like, we good?
Yeah.
Are you cool? And he was like, I love it.
Fantastic.
All right, so look. Now, like I said, if the All-Star game and all that stuff was important to the powers that be, number one, they wouldn't allow LeBron James to sabotage it, right? That's number one. But is LeBron James in this situation because I think it's his fault? You know what I mean? Because I think that if you have respect for the game and you play the game like Kobe did and Dwayne Wade did, then the media wouldn't be able to blame this on you, right? If you just can't, you mailing it in and you kind of set yourself up for the fall to be the fall guy, right? Because they're going to blame it on you. You know, like I said, and that's what they're doing. They're blaming it on LeBron James. They're making him the fall guy because, he didn't step up to the challenge. And so I guess they feel like, the NBA feel like, well, we're going to make our money. We're going to make our money off of you one way or another. Whether, if you play hard, we're going to benefit from that. But if you shrink in big moments, we're going to publicize and we're going to benefit from that, right? So it's really, in my opinion, no way to cheat. You can't cheat the NBA. And you can't cheat the league. You can't cheat the game. They're gonna it's gonna show. And that's what happened to LeBron James. Like when Kobe wanted to challenge him and put on a show for the fans, he passed the ball and like everybody from then on just really, he didn't really step up to the challenge. But my whole thing is like, not to let LeBron James off the hook for not stepping up to the challenge, because that's part of, that comes with your job, as a professional basketball player and as the face of the league, you gotta, that's your job. You gotta play. You gotta, go out there and perform. Especially if, all the money that you're getting for being in the league and you think you're just going to be out there just, mailing it in and sitting on the sideline, eating cookies and stuff during halftime. That's, that's why, right now, LeBron James is catching all this flack from everybody. He's getting thrown under the bus. He's the problem with the so-called problem. But I think that LeBron James could have really, he could have prevented this by just going out there and just really just playing hard, but that, this era right here, man, to me, it's just different from Kobe era on back. None of those guys or anybody on any team that has ever been like a franchise basketball player never really backed down from a challenge like that. I can't recall seeing nobody, whether they was successful or not is a different thing, but they just never backed down from a challenge, and so this was all new. When you see somebody like LeBron James, he just want to show up and mail it in, man. He kind of set himself up. And I always said that if you know the history of the game, if and people try to give LeBron James for like being a basketball historian, man, some of the moves I see him make, I'm like, you can't be a historian. Or if you are a historian, you just ignoring history. You just ignoring the history, and it just goes back to, like I said, just ignoring history of the game. And but it is what it is. I think they just going to continue to throw LeBron James under the bus as far as with everything that's wrong with the NBA. When I think that we just got to know and we got to understand that those, you talking about billionaires, man, they just not going to allow LeBron James to sabotage the league. But they are going to, like mainstream media, they're going to make their money as far as this content is concerned. And they're going to shape LeBron James and his legacy and the narrative surrounding LeBron James, You know, I don't care how many podcasts LeBron James have or how many episodes he do, you know, like mainstream media is what's going to be able to shape the narrative. When in order to shape your narrative, like you have to let your performance, like as an athlete and an entertainer, you have to let your performance do that. You can't go on podcasts and say, you know, that's when I knew I was the GOAT, you know, when I beat this team or when I won this ring or that ring. You can't do that. You know, you just got to let your performance, like Mike and Kobe and Magic and Bird, and everybody who came before him, man, you know, their performance dictated, because the media, you know, they control, you know, those narratives. And the only way you can fight back is to go out there and perform. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm gonna check you all out in the next video. Peace.